What's up, Mind Your Biz community? Realizing that I have to just start saying hello to the Mind Your Biz community, and I can't say hello to a given video platform community because I've been cross-publishing on so many, cross-publishing and cross-posting. So, good morning, good evening, good middle of the night, depending on where you are in the world. Yes, our community's got it like that. Thank you again to Virus HQ, if you don't know, on Discord, and Nubasaur for basically pulling an all-nighter here on the East Coast. Wish I had my soundboard because I could give Nubasaur all the claps, right? Woo! All the applause for staying up all night like a champ and allowing members of the community to give input on how we could overclock and algo tune his brand new RTX 2080 Zotac, the blower edition, the gaming style or gaming edition RTX 2080. And this morning, I wanted to go over, because I'm not at the office yet today, I'm going to go back to the office to upload the different parts of that video. Reynaldo, how are you? Thanks for saying hello in the comments. I'm going to go back to the office to upload the different parts of that video as soon as I can today. And then that'll be in 3 different chunks. I can't really edit it all the way down. Oh, Reynaldo, thanks, man. Appreciate you going out of your way to say that. But it's too long a video. Right, the original broadcast was 10 hours. I checked it out. The actual the substantive broadcast, that is to say, like instead of just there being a pre-roll where we were doing tests and stuff, is about 8.5 hours, or 8 hours or so. And then I found that with a really good time remap, I was able to adjust the speed. This is actually something that network TV operators do, whether you know it or not. If you watch network television and you watch a movie, and you wonder, like, if you can't tell, they actually do speed up certain movies and TV shows by anywhere between 5 to 15, sometimes almost 20%. Certain segments of it in order to fit more content into shorter blocks of time, or to the right, just kind of right-size their catalog so that everything flows throughout the day. And we're doing that with the weekend broadcast because it's such a long broadcast, and now we have to split into 3 parts. And we time remapped it to make sure that it plays without being too long and without breaking platforms like BitTube that do have some content duration restrictions. So that's coming out in 3 parts over the weekend. Look for it. I can put it here on YouTube if you'd like, and I think we'd probably be fine. All the music is totally rights. It's not rights managed, so we're okay there. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it onto YouTube. So far, to date, it is the definitive overclocking and mining guide for RTX 2080. Nobody else has done what Virus and Nubasaur did with me live on that stream. So I want to get that out to the community as soon as possible, right? We're not doing anything ultra fancy like creating a new pill for it or creating any kind of other secret sauce for it, but we are doing something that's never been done before. Anyway, you guys let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in. If you just tuned in because you were saying you saw a thumbnail of me sitting in front of some food and saying, you know, how to not die a little longer, well, let me get to that. This is my breakfast, and I call it it's the breakfast of champions, the breakfast of fatheads. I've got a full avocado. I've got one. It's called a Jazz apple. It's a new hybrid apple that has only recently existed. I'm going to pop open the fridge so you can see what I'm talking about. And this is, nope, no oats. And I'll get back to that other thing in a minute. Let me flip this guy around so you can see right here. So the Jazz apple is you can see it's a product of New Zealand, but it is a brand new hybrid apple. It's something akin to a pink lady apple. So fairly sweet. Really good texture to it, right? Nice and crunchy. So good stuff. Pizza is saying he needs pizza and avocado. And you know what? I can't say I blame you. That would be delicious, actually. But then I've got a bit of salt. Why would I add salt? Well, because it's not 1982 anymore, and we know that salt is not bad for the general population. If you've got a heart condition, or you're taking a specific kind of medication for hypertension, then your doctor might have something to say about that, but talk to your doctor about it. Don't just automatically assume that all salt is bad, or that if you eat too much salt, it's bad for you. Let the pros figure that out. Don't try to self-diagnose or self-prescribe that kind of stuff. In my mind, that's just counterproductive. Again, without this being health advice, right? I'm not trying to diagnose or cure any diseases you have. So go talk to your doctor, right? Like, again, standard disclaimer. It's also not financial advice, right? Like buying this kind of food, I have no idea what it's going to do to your crypto portfolio. So if you get wrecked, it's your own darn fault for buying these stupid jazz apples, okay? Right. Anyway, yeah, and also like I don't like talking about medical conditions because so my dad, when he was alive, he was just such a hypochondriac. All the time, be like, I don't feel well, and it was just funny. He had this very unique Cuban American accent, and it was so bad. All of his kids, we all teased him kind of relentlessly about it. That he was such a hypochondriac. We'd be like, I don't feel so well. I'm so tired. And it's like, well, did you stay up till 3 in the morning? Did you skip the gym this week? Well, then, yeah, you're gonna feel tired, Dad. Like you stopped at that time, moving from New York across the country. He went to the Nautilus gyms in New York because that's what was available at the time, and he would do like all the different classes and swim laps and use the Nautilus machines when they were still like unique. Now we just call them cross cables. They're not even called Nautilus anymore. Kind of sad, you know. But whatever. Everything has a legacy, right? It comes from somewhere. But he would always talk about like I feel so sick, and we're like, Dad, well, is there something maybe there's something you can do about it? Have you had a glass of orange juice today or whatever? Did you have a glass of water this morning? Are you dehydrated? Have you eaten anything for the last 8 hours? Because he was also something of a workaholic, which is ironic considering that he came from island culture. He had a serious work ethic. Serious work ethic. I mean, he could go 16, 18-hour days, no problem, and do that consistently through his 60s. And that was just mind-blowing. But towards the end of his life, he got really big into foods like this. Hey, Ronaldo, I think you're probably right. I think I probably do get that a lot from my dad. But on my mom's side, we had these Polish genes. Rather, we had Prussian genes that came through Poland. Because everybody on my grandpa's side of the line, of the genetic line, came from Prussia. It turns out, mother, father, everybody is from Prussia. But he was born in Poland, which is interesting. So, yeah, Prussia by way of Poland. And then he was a farmer that worked a piece of land in Wyoming for a long time and just did really well. But yeah, Artine, you're asking if I like borscht? Actually, yeah, borscht is amazing. AZ, how are you? Good to see you in the comments. Do I like borscht? Borscht is amazing. It really is. And here's the thing. Oh, I don't want to I'll go down a rabbit hole if we talk too much about it. But there's real legit science to why borscht is so good. And if you haven't tried it, you probably should. And when you try it, you'll notice that it is extremely ergogenic is the word. So a bit like taking creatine or a bit like taking other sports supplements, you will you're very likely to experience a similar boost to your energy levels by consuming borscht. The secret ingredient is beet extract. And beets not only have a naturally occurring form of sugar, a really high density of sugar in their chemical composition, they also have what's called a methyl donor. So they it's either dimethylglycine or trimethylglycine that you'll get from the beet extract, and it is a methyl donor to the Krebs cycle, the energy production cycle of your cellular at a cellular level. So Yankee, will it help your libido? I don't know, man. Only one way to find out, right? Take two. Tell us in the morning. Anyway, yeah. So borscht, love borscht, but I also love grated beets. You can take a regular cheese grater, or like you would with maybe carrots for a salad. Maybe you don't like big chunks of carrots and whatever. And sorry, Yankee, instructions unclear. You're gonna have to figure this one out on your own. Bojan, how are you? Good to see you. But as far as beets, I like grated beets, right? So, but yeah, so as long as they're raw, like AZ is saying, keep those beets as raw as possible. Don't cook anything out of them because it's hard to tell which components are going to be a problem. And Mossy's asking if I've heard of agmatine sulfate. I've heard of it. I haven't used agmatine. I have used other extracts and other different ergogenic workout aids, and I'm going to show you. This is kind of part of my morning routine. The breakfast is right here. You'll notice I haven't touched it, guys. That's the first secret. I try not to put myself in a position where I am ravenously hungry. That's kind of one thing. You saw me with my shirt off not that long ago. I'm not as lean as I've been before. I have been as lean as 2.5% body fat for a bodybuilding show. I've never been that lean since. I was never that lean before. People actually aren't designed to be that lean. It's really unhealthy. It's actually really bad. Yes, Reynaldo, I am bragging. Once more. But there's a caveat. I was that lean for approximately 3 days. And then for those 3 days, the 3 days preceding, as I descended below 4% body fat, or the 2 weeks preceding, as I descended below 4% body fat, I was miserable. Dude, I wanted to eat everybody around me. I wanted to kill and eat everybody around me. I went cannibalistic. It was bad because I was just so cranky. It was like the ultimate hanger. You know what I mean? I was ultimately hangry because I was so starved. And even though at that time, I was much younger too, so thankfully, if it had a deleterious effect on my health, I was younger. Hopefully, I was able to bounce back from it. But I haven't done anything like that to my physique since then. I don't believe in getting that lean on a regular basis. If it's your job as a physique athlete, maybe you're a professional underwear model or something. As a male, you can get closer to 8% body fat on a regular basis, 5 to 8, and 5 to 8. Well, Yankee, we've got to talk to you about Dublin Dr. Pepper. I don't know if that's available in North Carolina, but from Dublin, Texas, it's like the Mexican Coca-Cola. It's raw, it's cane sugar, and it comes in a glass bottle. So if you're going to do Dr. Pepper, just saying, go all the way. Do it right. But here's what's in my medicine cabinet, right? Or medicine cabinet. B12, it's a regular thing every morning. You guys know, so because of religious reasons, as I grew up not drinking caffeine from hot sources like coffee or black tea, I still toe that line. I don't drink black tea because of tannins. I don't drink Earl Grey. I don't drink white tea or oolong tea. I don't drink anything that's been fermented. Well, here's the thing. Reynaldo, here's my vitamin C. It's flipped backwards, isn't it? Gosh darn it. But here's my vitamin C. You'll notice it's a 200 milligram compressed tablet of caffeine. So yeah, right. I love that, AZ. It's all about the temperature of your caffeine. It doesn't work when it's cold. He may be right. I don't know. Maybe it is just, it's placebo. These are actually just compressed sugar tablets, right? But I take a specific dose of that. I split tablets for the amount that I need because I know each tablet is exactly 200 milligrams of caffeine. If you get whatever, there's a guy in the CrossFit community that makes a product called Muscle Mud, and it's coffee with a little additional protein, and then it's okay, it's about this much caffeine per serving. How much did you actually get? Yeah, how much did you actually get? You don't know. How much protein did you actually get? It's harder to tell because you're using a scooper to put everything into a bucket, right? But those two, that's a morning routine, right? So vitamin C and then B12. Right here, I have this down stock because I buy it in bulk, but this is beta-alanine, and beta-alanine is an L-carnosine precursor. I'm not going to get too far into, because at this point it's a little cloudy. Guys, I've forgotten more about supplementation than most people will ever know. It's dumb. It's dumb. Again, one more little humble brag that's really not so humble. Once upon a time, I was a fitness professional, and so I ate, slept, breathed this stuff 24/7 because I had clients whose results depended on it, and they were paying me very good money. I mean, that was my first taste of being worth $75 an hour, was as a fitness professional. So rather providing $75 an hour worth of value was as a fitness professional, because I could tell somebody all right, for your body type, for your goals, we're doing this. So just restock your fridge, restock your pantry, and then come to the gym at these times. And if you rely on me, you're doing it wrong. Like I'll call you if or whatever. I'll fine you if you don't get this done right. I was that kind of guy. I wasn't the kind of guy that would show up at your house at 5 a.m. like, oh hey, what's going on? Get up, sunshine. I'd be like, no, you messed up. Why should I keep you as a client? Yeah, that was how I operated. But yeah, I've frankly forgotten more about this stuff than most people will ever learn. So Yankee keeps making jokes about inhaling this stuff through your nose. Look, man, I just happen to have a little bit of a cold. I can stop this cold anytime I want. Don't make fun of me sniffling. So the last part for me is that beta-alanine and then a little bit of creatine monohydrate. It's the Now brand, cheapest I could find. Why? Because this stuff has all been completely standardized now. If you'd asked me 20 years ago, like what brand of creatine I was using, I would tell you like, oh, well, I'd really want to make sure that I stick with EAS, right? Or because that was before they were acquired by the current company that runs EAS. Or I would say like go with a brand that's very well known, because then it's not going to be laced with potentially with any kind of an androgenic substance, right? So the androgenic substance, you'd get like some of these creatine powders that were literally, they were sprayed because the FDA couldn't stop them, sprayed with 0.5% or lower. Bitmain bought EAS. That's just it. Bitmain bought EAS and they bought the entire global supply of beets. So no more borscht for anyone. Sorry. It's all got, yeah. Your P will be red and will hash BCH. Womp womp. But so Mossy's saying that some creatine coming out of China may still be laced with anabolics. That is always possible, but I don't know. I'm highly doubtful that that's the case. CreaPure became a standard, I think, by a couple of German companies, and then there are several others, right? So I don't, guys. Wall of info here, wall of text. So let me talk to you about what I do. Whey protein isolate. This stuff is super nasty. I'm really not very happy with it. Optimum Nutrition, now called AION. They used to be so much better. They just dropped off. Now, literally, the only good protein you can get is the stuff that you get like directly from New Zealand, from dairies in New Zealand. Whey protein has just really suffered over the last 20 years, and especially over the last 10 years. The quality has just really gone downhill. It's bad. It's just bad. There's no other way to put it. Whey protein is just really bad. Yeah, Yankee, you're not wrong. Now you see why my breakfast is composed of what it's composed of, right? So the whey protein isolate, it will get you pooping bricks. So, and you'll feel every inch of it on its way down, right? So on its journey, it'll be like, hi, I'm terrible protein powder. How's your intestinal tract? I'm here to get you wrecked. So is that a good likeness? Is that how your protein talks? Because that's kind of how my protein talks. AZ is saying that a local grocer there sells whey protein in bulk. That's awesome. And yeah, little fast food. Yeah, just get you some local sort of American-style Chinese food. Little greasy spoon, as we used to call it. And yeah, that works. I don't always add milk, but when I'm using whey protein isolate, what it does is it throws in a little bit of casein. So calcium caseinate is a slower burning protein. And the technicals, how are you, buddy? Matt, good to see you. And Matt's saying he throws in a little bit of fiber, a little bit of fiber one. Brother, I cannot say I blame you. We're at that phase where you just got to think about keeping the Play-Doh factory running. I mean, let alone what it produces, just keep it running. So over here, this is my fiber. I've got, as you saw from the thumbnail, a little bit of apples. So good fiber from apples, and then some good fiber from these avocados. El aguacate, it'll keep you going. Celery isn't so bad either. Here's why I avoid celery too much. Celery seed itself is actually a diuretic. So, yeah, Reynaldo, you know how we do. Keeping it real. Not too much creatine because it too will throw off your osmotic balance. Get you dried out too fast, right? Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, Matt's saying that he uses high-end protein powder that isn't very clean, but keeps him coming back and has decent labs. I think that's about the best you can do these days. You want to try to, yeah, make sure that it isn't just completely terrible. You know what? I was about to put it back without even using it. Freud would say, I don't want to taste this stuff. That I don't want to put this stuff in my body at all. And he wouldn't be wrong. I have not enjoyed this stuff very much. Most of the popular brands have just absolutely gone to seed. It's terrible. So I personally need between 35 and 50 grams. Yeah. Yeah, Matt's saying he's also totally not natty. As he knows, I am lifetime natural. That's just kind of been an important thing for me. I kind of always felt like I'll keep the NCAA standard, right? So if it would preclude you from being able to play collegiate sports, then I won't use that. That's kind of been my standard because I figure, for the most part, that's probably if it's designed to keep fairly young people healthy to be able to go from collegiate to pro, where they promptly stop going natty and they get their doctor to start prescribing them all kinds of stuff. They get the advanced chemistry kit once they go pro, right, with NFL or anything else. But collegiate players, right? They're pretty pretty healthy. So that's kind of a standard that I use. Alrighty, guys. Sorry. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. Got a little bit of creatine in there, and I don't want to leave it for too long because creatine in water, creatine monohydrate, one thing, it's got a half-life of about 12 minutes. Not so great. It starts to change into creatinine, break down into creatinine. But with the beta-alanine, we don't need much. Even at that, quarter teaspoon, I've built up a tolerance. I can take that much. If you take that much, your skin will start to feel like you've got the niacin flush. If you guys ever did niacin back in the days, your skin will get tingly and it'll start to flush red just a little bit and you'll feel like, oh my gosh, I'm being poisoned. You're not being poisoned. You won't die, Yankee. You'll be fine. But it will feel weird and you'll feel jittery. But you'll feel jittery in a way that's like, oh my gosh, I want to move. It is nuts. Beta-alanine, for the person who wants to remain active over age 35, beta-alanine, you really need to read up on it and consider it. It's a pretty powerful supplement, put it that way. And round this out with a little bit of water. Yeah, Mossy's saying, Mossy confirms that you add some beta-alanine to creatine, and it's like, boom, Energy Town, right? Like, again, you guys can see. So, Impactine was asking me, like, hey, dude, so what's your body weight? You say you're over 100 kilos. Are you, like, super fat? You can tell I actually am, like, getting super fat. I'm really not that lean. I'm not as lean as I'd like to be. Get that going. And breakfast is served. It's not huge, but it's got enough calorie density and primarily from healthy fats that I'm not going to feel super hungry for the next few hours, especially after having some morning caffeine, right? So for you, it might be the morning cup of joe, whatever your favorite blend is. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to tell you it's wrong, but I am going to say it's not right for me. It's not the right choice for me. So you saw, I go with the caffeine tablet cut in a specific dose. So I feel like if I can measure it and I can be very, very careful with it, it's right. Newbie's asking if it's 10 a.m. for me. No, Newbie, it's actually quite late. It's quite late for me. It's not 10 a.m. So we're gonna call this a very late breakfast, guys. That late night with Nubasaur, and with Nubasaur, AZ knows, with Nubasaur and with Virus, right? Virus is exactly the opposite. Virus is in India now. I don't know if he's in Bangalore or if he's in near Chennai or where he is, right? Yes, AZ, it is. We will affectionately call this a nooner. Because it looks that good, doesn't it? Looks good enough to eat. But yeah, like man, those all-nighters, and you guys tell me. I know we've got some mining community folk. If Matt's still here, AZ, some others over age 35. How much do you like staying up overnight, staying awake for 36 or more hours? Virus, there you are, brother. Yes, I did. I opened the stream by thanking you for your generosity with your time over the weekend or last couple of days in overclocking and still being the reigning champion of hash rate on RTX 2080. How does it feel? How does it feel to be a world champion, Virus HQ? How does it feel to live with that much greatness hanging from your shoulders every day? Yeah, AZ is saying at the moment, doing those all-nighters and staying up for 36 hours or greater is okay, but the payback is a B. I agree. The payback is what gets you. So today, no, I was not Johnny on the spot this morning. I did not get up feeling great. Virus, good to hear that you understand the weight, the weight that is upon you, the weight that's upon your shoulders. It's lonely at the top. There are going to be people gunning for your record very soon. And yeah, Virus is saying he's in the under 25 club here. Yeah, it's great. I mean, Virus I think he did just under 2 REM cycles between our sessions. He's like, guys, I gotta sleep. I'm gonna pass out. Disappears for just under 3 hours. Comes back like, hey, what's up? Like fresh as a daisy. I'm like, how? How is that possible? I mentioned I need 3 REM cycles at the minimum in order to just like be really clear, right? Really clear headed and be able to work on stuff. So if you do the math, about 4.5 hours. So 3 REM cycles is what I need to kind of get back on track. If I want to be good, clarity mentally, and then really good power physically, knowing that I'm going to be relying on, say, like doing a lot of deadlifts. And what I mean is setting up a data center. So like picking up really heavy stuff from the ground. Let me characterize that as well. I mean, picking up like loads of 100 pounds or more from the ground repeatedly all throughout the day. I need about 6 hours every day. And then if I want to do more than that, like really thrive, really let the horses loose, really do what my body and my mind are capable of, I need more than that. That's how it works. Yeah, well, hey, the Shaolin monks maybe also know that practice makes habit, which is why Shaolin monks never practice solo. You ever notice that? They always have somebody coaching them. So, yeah, you've got to practice, but you really need to have somebody watching your back, too. Anyway, young people. Guys, that's my breakfast. This is how I've managed to live, the number of years. We're going on 40 years here. How I've managed to live, nearly 40 years without dying so far and being in relatively okay health. Am I in great health? No. Could I be in much better health? Yes. But even sitting sedentary at a desk, even not going to the gym every day, as I once did, not going to the gym every other day, as I try to, I'm keeping myself from being millennial spotted. Where Virus? Because technically I'm non-millennial. Are you a millennial? Okay. Oh, right. You are. What are you doing pointing fingers, Virus? You got 4 fingers pointed back at you, brother. 3, right? There you go. 3 fingers pointed back at you. Not useful. Not useful pointing fingers and making fun of millennials. I don't think it's a very helpful thing. But anyway, here's how I keep from not dying fast, right? Well, if you count your thumb, you could be pointing 4 digits back at yourself, Virus. Try harder. Try harder to make fun of yourself. All right, guys. Yeah, that's the breakfast. Old age brings out bad math skills. Well, young age brings out poor logic. You got a thumb, brother. You got a thumb. All right, guys. Hey, it's Mrs. Mind Your Biz. Hi. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna go have some breakfast. Hey, and it's young Mind Your Biz wearing what? The only SQRL t-shirt in the United States outside of SQRL headquarters. What? Bragging rights. I know. That's super cool. This guy's taller than me, by the way. Anyway, we got stuff to get to. This guy wants to go see the Meg with me. Yes. All right, guys, I gotta go. We're all having a very, very late start to the day, and we gotta get to it. You guys want to say goodbye?
Bye. Bye. See you.
All right, we love your face. Oh, and Reynaldo, we will get Mrs. Mind Your Biz to do some singing soon, probably on her own channel, but we'll do some here as well. All right, guys, talk to you soon.